Welcome into WFRV Plus Sports Night. I'm your host, Carson Fowler. No Kyle Malzahn tonight. He is taking some holiday break with his family. I'm jealous, but so it's just me tonight. But we're going to talk this Packers-Bears game from yesterday and really what was a season-defining win for Green Bay. 28-21, the score in that one. But this game was a tale of two halves, right? Packers felt like they were in total control first half, 14-3. You get that huge score to Bo Melton to end the half. You realize you're going to get the ball to start the second half, but then Jordan Love and that offense goes 3-0, and you're like, uh-oh. Is this the game where the Packers, like kind of what we've seen from them for most of this year, where they go on these stretches of looking like a great football team, and they're like, regress back to the mean? That was obviously not the case because they ended up winning the game, but it was definitely interesting. I mean, 28-21 is not like a beatdown by any means. And Packers, they needed a game-sealing interception to win this one. Keyshawn Nixon with a heads-up play to leave his man wide open and take Cole Kmet and come away with that game-sealing interception. Evan Williams basically saying after the game that Jesus himself was right behind him, coming out of the blue, number 25, Keyshawn Nixon. Just a little clap for Keyshawn Nixon, honestly. Let's see if I can find the clap on here. Nope. That's definitely not it. There it is. Keyshawn Nixon. Great job, man. Keyshawn Nixon gets his mortgage. He has said that he's been paying rent all year with these pass breakups. He's among the best corners in the NFL in pass breakups, but no interceptions yet. This was his first interception of the season, which is kind of crazy to think about considering it's week 14 and he's taken on some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So you think he's getting the ball thrown his way quite a bit, just not coming with interception, but he did in the biggest moment of yesterday's game, and he got his flowers, man. That guy is super confident. He exudes swagger. He's definitely got an aura to him, and guys are attracted to guys that make great plays. Pause. But you know what I mean? They're attracted to greatness, and he's a great player. He's playing like the player he was supposed to be. He's playing like cornerback one, what he has been calling himself all year. But enough about Keyshawn Nixon. Let's talk about Josh Jacobs for a minute. He had another big game. Josh Jacobs had not found the end zone in his previous two starts. Had he not found the end zone again, that had been 3 straight games without a touchdown for Josh. That'd be his longest streak going back to weeks 1 through 4 of last year. So this guy that is in the end zone often, and really good things happen when Josh Jacobs finds the end zone. He said, I like any play where I get the ball in my hands. And he said when he got in the red zone, he kind of knew what it was. He said, yeah, trust me down there. And he did. Josh Jacobs getting the ball on 3rd and 2 with the ball game on the line, because essentially you don't get that. You think about kicking a field goal, which would have been, by my math, 10-7, would have been like a 20-something yard field goal. So it's really a chip shot. Or you go for it on 4th down and not get it. So that was a big play. The bell cow in the backfield, as our Cameron Ezaire has described him as, which is really a great description considering he's like 5'8", 220, all muscle, and he really just does find a way to just bulldoze his way into the end zone despite his smaller size. So he's a great player. Micah Parsons basically said that there's no 1-2 punch in the backfield. Not 1-2 punch. Duo in the backfield, but quarterback, running back that he trusts more than Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Even going as far as to say that Jordan Love is playing the best ball in the NFL right now at quarterback, second and third only to Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott, who are leading the NFL in touchdowns. Matt Stafford is the front runner to win the MVP. So that's pretty good category. But yeah, huge win for the Pack. Matt LaFleur super fired up after the game, hyping up the crowd as he's leaving. Can we get another clap for Matt LaFleur? I know we did Keyshawn Nixon. We'll do another one. Yep. Yeah, keep playing. Keep playing, applause. But Matt LaFleur called a great game, ran the ball when he had to, threw the ball when he had to. The game just kind of came to him. You know, I feel like we saw the offense stall a little bit in that 3rd quarter, but then in the 4th quarter, things really picked up. And I feel like Jordan Love felt that pressure a little bit. He kind of felt that fire under him that, okay, Chicago is kind of doing what it wants on offense. Ben Johnson had made the right adjustments at halftime. He's cooking up the right schemes, and the defense is getting stops, but not at, I would say, the volume that they were looking for the volume that they had in the first half. So Jordan Love kind of had to be like, all right, I'm that guy. I got to go out and score a couple touchdowns. And he did. And there's a big reason why he won. He had one of the highest rated games of his career, 3 touchdowns, 234 passing yards, something like that. I have to double check. I have to get my phone on that one. But no, he was excellent. Kid played a great game. Actually, yeah, let's talk about Jordan Love. I feel like his decision making after he made that interception was stellar. I mean, there are not a lot of quarterbacks in this league that could throw an interception, a boneheaded throw. He even said it was just a bad read, like just a bad decision, something he wishes he could have back. It wasn't even like the DB made a great play on it. He said, yeah, I kind of had to put it in the rearview mirror and just keep going. And that's exactly what you want to hear. Short-term memory. Just keep moving forward, because that Bears defense is the league leading in turnovers, takeaways for a reason. 17 interceptions. Jaquan Brisker or Kevin Byard, 2 of the best safeties in the NFL. They eliminate the deep ball, and the Packers actually exposed them. Jordan Love found a way to beat that too high safety look on multiple occasions. Christian Watson getting away on that deep crosser, and then Bo Melton having that huge play. But no, it was a great game, and I think that's a good segue actually to talk about Christian Watson. Christian Watson, who, might I remind you, came back from a season-ending ACL injury last year against the Chicago Bears. And for him to have 80-plus yards on the ground on 4 catches and 2 touchdowns against that team, I mean, that means something. Matt LaFleur he said after the game, I have a lot of love and respect for Christian Watson. He knows how dynamic of a player he is. And Kyle Malzahn and I have talked about this before, about the contract extension that he got, that $13.25 million extension that'll kick in next year, just a 1-year deal before he came back. And I kind of said, it's kind of a gamble, which it was. And Brian Gutekunst obviously knew what he was doing. He obviously knows what he's doing, of course. But that was a great move, because they probably got Watson for $7 or $8 million less than what they were going to have to pay him. I mean, oh my God, you start paying him now, guy's got at least 4 or 5 touchdowns. He's had 80 plus yards in, I believe, 3 games since he's been back. I don't have the stats in front of me, but kid's been balling. So $13 million sounds like a pretty good deal for a wide receiver that's, I can't say what he's on pace for, but definitely around where his numbers have been at in years past. And he's definitely on pace to be the Packers' leading wide receiver by year's end, especially with Jaden Reed out for so long and Tucker Kraft no longer playing. But no, he's a guy that the Packers are definitely glad to have back. He has kind of stepped into that wide receiver 1 role and has kind of taken on just that red zone threat, that safety blanket that Tucker Kraft was, a big target that Love wants to go to when he's got no other options, could even be his second or third read. But yeah, Christian Watson was great. Bo Melton was great. I mean, really, Packers was awesome. I mean, we talked about it on our Sports Extra show that it felt like in the moments that mattered, the Packers played complementary football, got stops when they had to on defense, and then reciprocated that on offense, getting scores. And that's what they did. 28-21, the final. I think that's a good part to, sorry, can't speak for a second. I think that's a good point to take a break. And then I want to talk about this Denver Broncos matchup, because Matt LaFleur had some things to say about the team's league leading in sacks. Their defensive line, who's pretty scary. And obviously Packers have had some issues on the offensive line with Elton Jenkins going out. So that'll be an interesting topic to discuss after the break. But we'll take a break here on WFRV Sports Night. 1 second. Welcome back to WFRV Plus Sports Night. Carson Fowler here, your host. Don't worry, we've got the stats up in front of us now, so I'm not just making up numbers. But how about this? The Denver Broncos have 55 sacks, and 16 different players have a sack. That is insane. And just to compare that to the Packers, who also have a very good pass rush. Let's just pull this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people on the Packers have a sack, but only 33. That means the Denver Broncos have 22 more sacks than the Packers, which is insane considering that the Packers have one of the best defensive players in the NFL in Micah Parsons. However, the Denver Broncos also have a very good player in Nick Benito. So this will be a really interesting game. The Packers are actually minus 1.5 point favorites at Denver, which I think is so interesting because Denver has won 10 games in a row. 10. They have not lost since week 3. So I think that's a little crazy. Granted, also, the Denver Broncos' 2 losses were by 1 and by 3, both on the road to Indianapolis and Los Angeles. Now, granted, they've won some close ones. Beat the Chiefs by 3, beat Washington in overtime by 1, beat the Raiders by 3. I'm not going to say they're world beaters. I'm just going to say I'm surprised that the Packers are favorites. But also, I'm not surprised. I think I'm surprised because it's a road game and it's hard to win road games in the NFL. But the Packers have been very good at it. They won at New York. They won in Pittsburgh. They won in Arizona. They did not win in Cleveland. Where else have they won? I think that's it. Long story short, road dogs. Sorry, didn't mean to bark on here, but no, it'll be an interesting one. I'm really excited for the quarterback matchup between Bo Nix and Jordan Love. Bo Nix actually having a pretty decent year as well. He has, I want to say 19 touchdowns, 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, almost 3,000 yards passing. Sort of a game manager, if you will. They're kind of playing around with the weapons they have between what was J.K. Dobbins' role, now R.J. Harvey, Troy Franklin, rookie wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. Got a lot of older guys on that roster, but it's the defense that carries them. Keeps the offense on the football field, lets them do their thing. Sean Payton is the head coach, former Super Bowl champ with the New Orleans Saints. He will be something to watch. We got Ben Johnson in his first year, but now the Packers get seasoned veteran in Sean Payton. So you got to understand that he's gonna dial it up. He's gonna bring the pressure as often as possible. Now, the one thing is though, according to Pro Football Focus, Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at completing throws downfield against the blitz. Now, granted, the Denver Broncos love to blitz, so it will be interesting. Now, I bring up that stat because the Minnesota Vikings have the highest blitz rate in the NFL. They only had 1 sack against Jordan Love, and he torched them. Did great numbers against them. They didn't have a chance. Now, am I saying that's the same thing that's going to happen against Denver? No, I'm not. I'm just pointing out the facts that just because you blitz a lot does not mean you're always going to get a ton of sacks, because the Packers do have a decent offensive line. Aaron Banks is starting to play a lot better. The 2 tackles on the outside, Rasheed Walker and Zach Tom, are playing phenomenal football. Anthony Belton has kind of slid into that right guard role. He's playing really well. And Sean Ryan has taken on the center position and kind of ran with it. And it's impressive because how often do you have to just take on that role? Be the guy who touches the ball every play. You're one of 2. It's you and the quarterback, and he's done that very well. Now, we still can't underestimate this Denver Broncos defense. I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything about them, but it is a little concerning that 2 of their linebackers lead the team in sacks. So that means they're disguising a lot of their blitzes. They're bringing guys off the edge in the gaps that aren't filled. Nick Bonino, Jonathan Cooper are the 2 that I'm really looking at. But they also have a couple guys on here. Jaquan McMillian, 4 sacks as a corner. I mean, this will be an interesting game. And I'd love to get thoughts from Brianna and Cam and Kyle on this. But I think I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this, for all the reasons I mentioned, the offensive line has been playing really well. But this is just glaring. I mean, how do you stop 16 different guys that have all gotten a sack? This really, something's got to give. It's a good offensive line versus a really good pass rush. Josh Jacobs, you're gonna need to do your thing. You're gonna have to run the football. Now, I don't know how good they are against the run. I don't know how good they are against the pass. I just know that they get to the quarterback early and often. So that's something to watch out for. I'm going to take a break here because I've talked for now 15 minutes straight. Take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to play a game. I do like maybe like was it like nine boxes or the football game? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. WFRV Plus Sports Night returns in just a moment. Welcome back to WFRV Plus Sports Night. Carson Fowler here, your host. No Kyle Malzahn. He's on the injured reserve. Spending a little off time with his family. Totally understand, but he leave me hanging. But we've talked Packers. We talked the win over the Bears. We talked the Broncos and that pass rush that is elite. Now we're going to play a little immaculate grid. I'll describe it for you guys. On the top, we got Eagles, Chiefs, 20-plus pass touchdowns. And on the left, we've got Chargers, Washington Commanders, and the Atlanta Falcons. This is actually brutal. I'm not really sure. Ooh, let's try. I'm going to say Drew Brees for Chargers and 20-plus pass touchdowns. Was that correct? That was correct. Okay. Because I'd say Philip Rivers is probably the obvious one. But now, Chiefs, Chargers. Ooh, not sure I know that one. Chiefs Commanders. You know, we're gonna look at different one. This is kind of a crazy grid. I don't know any of these. See, it's the double teams that really get you. Let's try this one. Okay, let's try this one. All right, we got Eagles, San Francisco, first round pick, Dolphins, Chiefs, Texans. This should be kind of interesting. I feel like I can get this. Miami. Okay, well, they just got Jalen Phillips, so that's that one. Really, really kind of exposing my ball knowledge here. I wish you guys could see the. I just am not spelling Jalen Phillips right. All right, this is just ridiculous. Jalen Phillips. Yeah, I just spelled his name right. Hold on. This is crazy. He's just not in here. Okay, well, that's crazy because that's who that is. You know what? We're gonna do men's basketball. Heat and Suns? Alex Len? No. Actually, maybe. Nope. Oh my God. Okay, so Immaculate Grid actually turns out not to be my forte. Let's do like NFL trivia. The Immaculate Grid is, wow. That was really bad actually. 100+ NFL quiz questions with answers. Or Yard Barker. Can you name the kicker with the most? Can you name the most recent player to top 1,000 yards receiving in every NFL franchise? This is for every NFL franchise. Interesting. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. This is interesting. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna restart this. So the question is, can you name the last player to have 1,000 yards for every team in the NFL? They give you the yards, the year, and their number. First one's Arizona. That is Trey McBride. Let's try that. Yep. For Atlanta, 1,224. That's probably Drake London would be my guess. Yep. Baltimore, number 4, 1,000. Probably Zay Flowers. Yep. Buffalo, number 14, Stephon Diggs. Yep. Carolina, number 19, 2023, Adam Thielen? Nope. Did I spell his name wrong? Yep, there it is, Adam Thielen. And Chicago, that's DJ Moore. Cincinnati, number 1, Jamar Chase. There we go. Cleveland, Jerry Jeudy. Wow, I might actually get this. Dallas, number 3, George Pickens? No. Or is that George Pickens? Hold on. It might be. Yeah, George Pickens. Denver, number 14, Courtland Sutton. Detroit, number 14, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm just never going to spell that, so I got to have it look it up. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Detroit's number 9. Oh, is that Jameson Williams? No, he's number 1. 2024, number 9? I really don't know. I'll skip that one. Green Bay's Devontae Adams. Dang, I can't skip. Oh, did I just spell Devontae wrong? Oh my God, this is ridiculous. It's not letting me. I did spell Devontae wrong. There we go. There we go. Houston, number 12, Nico Collins. Dude, how do I not remember who number 9 is on Detroit from last year? It's not Jameson Williams. I mean, unless he changes his number. Oh, it is Jameson Williams. Okay, he did because he wears number 1 now. Indiana's number 11, Michael Pittman Jr. Nice. Jacksonville, number 7, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm actually really good at this. I got to keep moving, though. I'm not going to make it. Kansas City, number 87, Travis Kelce. Duh. Chargers, Ladd McConkey. LA Rams. That's also Devontae Adams, I think. Or that's Puka Nacua. Nope. There it is. Las Vegas Raiders, number 89, Brock Bowers. Las Vegas Raiders, number 16, Jacoby Myers. Miami's number 10, Tyreek Hill. Miami's number 17, Jalen Waddle. Minnesota's number 18, Justin Jefferson. Ooh. New England's number 11. Ooh, 2019? Oh, that's going to be tough. Julian Edelman? No way. All right, there you go. New Orleans, number 12, Chris Olave. New York Giants, number 1, Wan'Dale Robinson. I just don't know if that's how you spell his name. Hold on, I gotta look at how you spell his name. I think it's Wan'Dale Robinson. But he's at number 1. Wow, that might get me. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay, New York Jets, number 5, Garrett. Oh, is it Malik Neighbors? Duh. Garrett Wilson, Phillies, number 11, A.J. Brown. Seattle, number 11, Jackson Smith Ninjigba. I don't know how to spell his name. Oh, San Francisco, 85. No. I was so close. I got 31 out of 35. That was actually crazy. So I was able to name 31 of 35 in 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes, of every team's last 1,000-yard receiver. And I totally would have gotten these last 4. Actually, Calvin Ridley would have been really tough. But Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, and George Kittle were the other 3 that I didn't get. Anywho, I think that's pretty much going to wrap up WFRV Sports Night. We talked Packers, Bears. We talked the Denver Broncos and the Packers Week 15 matchup. Who, by the way, Denver is the number 1 seed in the AFC. Packers are the number 2 seed. Packers could get the number 1 seed this week. Who do the Rams have? I'm not sure. Let's look it up. They have the Lions at home. That's actually really interesting. That game is at 3:25 on Fox, America's game of the week, but that's no cakewalk. So Packers could easily, I would say easily, but they could move into the number 1 spot in the NFC if the Rams were to lose. So we'll see if that happens. But I think we're going to pretty much do it for WFRV Sports Night. Carson Fowler saying so long. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials at WFRV Sports. And come to Locker Room tomorrow. Kyle Malzahn sitting down with Isaiah McDuffie, Packers starting linebacker, and 3-time Super Bowl champ Harry Sidney, former coach with the Packers and with the 49ers. But for now, saying so long from our WFRV Sports studio, Carson Fowler. Have a good night, folks.